Hey, sweetie. Alright, let's get started. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I've just realized this is up really loud. Alright, there we go. We're joined here today with Socks and once again Max, who's like, I don't understand this. So yes, welcome back everyone. We are going to work on the API again. We're currently doing the child objects. On the weekend, I struggled through getting the Kanban cards working, so I'm kind of happy with them. We'll need to still write a lot of unit tests for them and test them out properly. I haven't actually done any of that, but today we're going to sort of move on into the change tasks and then the requirement item. So hopefully I can get both of these done tonight, which means then we're ahead of our deadline, which means I can start, doing some more testing and stuff and wrapping up 031. Actually, there's one more item which we're going to do. Okay. Let's jump straight into it. So I've got the fixed Docker. I'm going to go there. I'm going to do a git pull because I want to pull in my changes. There we go. There's my changes. And what we want to do, so we're going to close all tabs. We're going to start everything up and running. I've forgotten, request for change. Yeah, just request for change. Okay, cool. So I'll do that over here. So we've got the API version 0 request for change, and we're just going to do a number 1. So at the moment, we've got this, which is good. Sorry, just something in the background just happened. I think it's just Patty. So we've got all our implementation stuff in here and so forth. We're quite actually happy with that. We've got the change tasks, which we're also happy with. We might, I think we're actually, we might get rid of a few items in there, like date created and so forth like that, because we won't need them. Oh, that's my beanie, not a cat. So, and yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to have like a change task one in here. We don't have anything at the moment. Very similar to the, if we go into API version 0, Kanban board, let's say a 1, and then Kanban card. We'll give you a list of Kanban cards, which is great. And then you can also delve deeper into that and get the thing. So we're going to copy that exactly like that. We've just hit our first ad break. For those on YouTube, sorry, we run ads on Twitch, so no one gets pre-rolled ads because pre-rolled ads suck. When we're in the ad break, we do this. Don't worry, we do this so no one misses out on any content. Hopefully you guys are going well. So yeah, once again we are joined with Socks and Max tonight. So yeah, Socks is a little upset she's not in her bed. She's like, Max taking the bed again. She hasn't realized that she can jump on him. And he will just get up and leave. So yeah. Alright. Oh, sorry. Try to stifle that yawn. We probably won't be going for too long tonight because I woke up really early this morning. Alright, how are we going? 30 seconds left, the ads. I am just going to set up a few things. So I'm just opening up folders, that's all I'm doing. It's just nothing too hard. And about 10 seconds left. Here's Socks. Alright. And welcome back, everyone. Okay, let's jump back into it. So over here, we've got the API sort of stuff. So we're right-hand clicking on it. We don't have anything about change tasks in there. So we're right-hand clicking. We're going to add in a Python file. We're going to call it change task API view.py. We're going to add it into source, and then from REST framework, we're going to import the serializers and what was the other thing we import? No, I didn't mean to import serializers, sorry. I've absolutely forgotten. View sets and statuses. And from NearBeach.models, we are importing the change task. And then what we want to do is we want to call it class, and it's going to be called change task. Very similar to this. If I open up project, it'll be so change task view set. And hey, Nocturnal, how are you going? I feel like because I talked to you this morning, for some strange reason, I feel like you've stayed up all day and you've come back. But no, you've probably had a sleep. God, I can't speak English at the moment. You're okay? That's good to hear. I can't complain, just tired. I am going to get as much done tonight. I want to get the change tasks API done and the requirement items API done, because they're the last two things I want for May. Just woke up. Fair enough. And then next month I want to do the... I'm not looking at my board because I rubbed it off on the board. I want to do the story points, and then it's just the wrap up for 031, which will be nice. Get it all in a bow. And yeah, I think we might just, and I'm saying just, hit the 100th patch for 031. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our change task model view set there. We're going to do the query set equals the change task dot objects. Filter is deleted equals false. Easy done. And the serializer class, we're just going to say that will be, we'll go from NearBeach dot serializers dot this will be change task serializer, import the change task serializer. There we go, easy done. And yeah, I'm okay. I'm just tired. So yeah. It'll be good once I get these items done, because then I'll be like, all right, cool, all of May is done, and I can start wrapping things up. Because I don't think this story points will take too long to do. And once they're done, well, the minimal viable product of them is done, I can start wrapping everything up, which will be nice. Get consistent, test out the API, make sure everything's working, make sure everyone's happy with everything, and yeah, once that's all done, we've got a stable foundation, we'll start moving on to 032. So I'm getting excited. I know I've given myself 3 months for that. So yeah, there'll be no new features for a while, which will be nice to do. All right, with the check permissions, because we're using the because we're actually using same URLs and stuff like that, it will get to this Kanban board, and I think we can cheat by using this generic permission, which will be awesome. Now I've got to go from NearBeach.decorators.checkUserPermission.API, which I think is that one, and import check user API permission. There we go. Oops, I just put a random J in. And then we want def create, and that's all going to be that, and then we're going to return response. Oh, I don't have response at the moment. From REST framework dot response import response. Set this up. I think that will do for the moment. So we've got the create, we've got the destroy. Now with the destroy we need, oh, we don't need anything. All right, cool. We need to do that. Okay. Then we've got the list. Args and quags. All right, cool. I'm just going to copy those four. I don't know why it's doing that at the moment. All right, retrieve. Okay, that will have a request pk equals none, args and quags, easy done. I'm just not going to bother with that other stuff. Actually, no, I should do it. I'll do it like this, the good old copy and paste. There we go. Def update, self request, pk equals none, args and quags, because we'll still need them. All right, done. Well, you know, partially done. All right, so we've got our create, destroy, list, retrieve, and update. Sorry. Retrieve also has that. List doesn't need anything. Destroy, I felt like it needed something. It's got the object thing. Yeah, get object. Alright, cool. We do need to copy these permissions. And that's pretty much it for the permissions. Easy done, very quick. Just jumping straight into it. So, got the create. We won't deal with the create at the moment, just because I want to see what we can do. We also might need to edit the, where would it be? The change task serializer. So in here, date modified creation user. So I'm just having a quick look at what sort of data we've got. We've got the change task, second, status, title, description, start date, end date required by, status, downtime, date created. We don't need. Request for change, we do need. Change task, assign user, and QA user, we do need. So the thing is, we might need a little bit more of that information down there, but that's perfectly fine. We can do that for the moment. All right. Alright, sorry. Ooh, I don't know how long I'm gonna last tonight. I just want to get these two done. So, let's do the list and retrieve. So, going with this. I'll explain what I did with the Kanban card. Oh, that's a serializer. Sorry. So in the Kanban card, we got the list. What we do is just get all the results, making sure we do this one correctly. 10 cards that are deleted. Alright, yep. Alright, cool. No, that's in a special case here. So yeah, it'll be a very quick sort of gather the data and make sure that it's going to be the same of the parent and make sure it isn't deleted. And then we just send the results. Yeah, it's quick. So what we need to do is we're going to have in here change task results equals change task dot objects dot filter, and then the first thing we want to filter by is the request for change. So we want to go request for change ID equals, and then we're going to go quargs and we're going to type in request for change, because I do believe we are using the request for change in that sort of case. The next thing we want to check for is deleted equals false, and that's pretty much it, because we're not dealing with any other variables whatsoever. Yeah, this one's a pretty simple one. And then serializer equals, and then what we're doing is we're going to go change task serializer, and then we're just putting in change task results, and then with the data it'll equal serializer.data. Easy done. With this particular one, the status will be a 200 OK. That's it. So let's get the URLs. And sorry, the API URLs. And in here, this will be change task. So it'll be router.register. So R, and then it'll be change. Oh no, this is different. This. So, open close. Change task. I'll get to what I'm doing in a second. Get rid of most of this data. Alright, we're on line 42. So I'm after change task views API, and then we wouldn't go 43. And then here, change task view API, and then change task, not serializer. View set, and then the base name is going to be called change task. Alright, cool. That's fairly easy to do. Then down here, what we want to do is we want to do something like this, and that will be request for change ID. And 0 to 9 plus. Okay. And that should be it. Yeah. Something simple, something easy. Should just suddenly work. Famous last words. We should do that. So, being consistent, we need that and that and that. Alright, cool. Alright, so I've got attribute error when get. Alright, cool. I'm just going to flag this. I'm just going to refresh. And we're going to hit this. We're going to have a look at the quags. So that's the request. So the quags, we've got the location ID, request for change ID 1, and then the user level 4. So we do get here, which is good. So we do have the request for change ID. Alright. So we do get the data. Oh, alright. So got attribute error when attempting to get the value. Change task title on serialized. Change task serializer. The serializer field might be named incorrectly and does not match the attribute or key on the query set instance. Originally, the exception was query set has no attribute change task title. Alright, this is a bit weird considering we're already using the change task serializer on the request for change. So, yeah. Well, let's jump into the serializer. So change task serializer in here. We've got seconds as read-only field. We've got the status name. That's the source. But yeah, this one should be pretty easy to do. Got attribute when attempting to get a value. Okay, I am... Oof, I'm going to put a breakpoint there. So, we're down here with the breakpoint. I am going to click on this one. I'm having a look at the data. Home, yeah. Alright, got attribute error when attempting to get the value field change task title on serializer. That the serializer field might be named incorrectly and does not match any attribute or key on the query set. All right, cool. So, why does this work at a higher level? I don't know. But at the same time, also, I can click on one of these. I can actually copy this. Ooh, sorry. Oh, I don't have the results in here, do I? No. Alright, no problem. I'm gonna bump this over here. And we are just going to paste it in. And what I'm looking for is the change task title. Change task title. It is there. Okay. I'm just going to do that. It's coming along really well. Yeah, so the we'll be finishing up a few API things this particular week, and then we've got the story points to implement, and then from there it's just cleanup of the 31 branch and get it to a point where it's stable, and then we'll start working on the 32nd branch. So yeah, I've given myself 3 months to get there. It does involve a lot of documentation writing and a lot of sort of bug fixes. Not too many bug fixes. A lot of, you know, planning stuff. Yeah. Otherwise, we've just found a little tiny issue, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, got attribute. Oops, I dropped my thing. Got attribute error when attempting to get the value change task start date. Description was query set had no attribute changed to. Alright, so I'm gonna have to look at what I've done elsewhere. So I'm just gonna close this. I am going to delete that one line. That's perfectly fine, getting rid of it. What we want to do is we want to have a look at the request for change stuff. So going over here, we've got the request for change. And by the way, how are you to fucking inactive? Hopefully you're going well. So when we do a list in here, fair enough. We've got the page sizes and stuff like that. We won't need to do page sizes. We've got the object assignment. Request for change objects, RFC ID in. Okay. Oh yeah. We've actually got to do that for this particular one. Okay, so actually no, we don't have to do it for this one. Limit and offset instead of page size and page. Okay. I just did it because, well, I just Googled it really. Okay. Sorry, my brain is just switching off. Oh yeah, cheers. Thank you very much, Nocturnal. But I don't know how I am getting the data that I want. I'm going to have a look at the request for change serializers. Oops, wrong one. So, in the request for change serializer, we've got all of this. How am I getting the change tasks? Change task serializer, many... I might only be doing it on the retrieve, so query set, no, not the, yeah. Get object, query set, request for change task equals change task objects filter, where the request for change ID equals that, and is deleted equals false. So we're essentially doing the same thing, but for some strange reason, the serializer just doesn't like us. Or I've made a big mistake and I'm too tired to actually figure it out. So we've got the change tasks. We should have those by ID. I think I figured it out. I've done something silly. Many equals true. All right, let's go back to this. Let's hit refresh. We've got this. I'm just gonna undo that and I'm just gonna hit play. There we go. Sorry, that was my bad. I should have remembered that. We needed the many equals true in there to tell the system, hey, there's actually gonna be more than one. And that's why the serializer had a problem. So I'm glad it was an easy fix. So yeah. Okay. Next thing we've got to do. So we've got the list for the change task. That's just that. We've got to do the retrieve. So the retrieve will be pretty simple. I'm just closing that. I am going to close the URLs because we're done with that. I'm going to close that because we're done with that. Going to change that. All right. With the retrieve, we've got a query set. We've got all the all right, cool. I'm just going to do that because we're doing pretty much the same sort of thing. Great. I press escape and it does nothing. So query set equals change task dot objects dot, and I'm going to say filter is deleted equals false. Easy done. And then from here we need change task results equals get object. All right, we need that. Django REST Framework has a page on Pagination. Looks like they have classes for it. Oh, sweet. All right, cool. Cheers. Thank you very much, Nocturnal. I am going to cheat because I'm way too tired. I think that's 11. Alright, so data will equal the... I haven't done the serializer yet. Alright, so that will be change task serializer. Let's just fix this up. So that will be change task results. We will need to import this, which I'll find out in a second. From REST framework, import get dot generics. Import get object of 404. Okay, so with the retrieve, we've got the change task. We won't need any of that because we're after just one single change task. And that should be it. All right. So in the change tasks, if I go, all right, sweet, cool, let's go to number 1, done, perfect. I'm happy with that. So we've just done the list, we've done the read, we've just now got to do the create, update, and delete. Fairly easy stuff to do. So we might as well, get started. Sorry, I'm getting distracted with the Rubik's Cube again. Okay, so sorry, I'm just trying to think how this will be done. And we're just in an ad break. Okay, for those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch, so people don't get pre-rolled ads whenever they join. I will be right back. You get to see Socks here stare at the camera. I just need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, everyone. How are we doing with the ads? And everyone's back. Welcome back, everyone. Cool. So let's get straight back into it. So we've done the retrieve. We're just going to go up to the top and do a create. So if we were to use this system as is, you would log into here. I'm going to jump in and go into team leader. Actually, is that team leader or that one's team leader? I'm going to log into team leader here. I'm going to make a dark screen for everyone. There we go. We're going to find an object. It looks like slicing is the way the Django docs suggest. Looks like that would evaluate the query first, but I guess that's my lack of knowledge. Oh, Django works. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can always run tests. Okay, so when we create a new item, we've got to change task, we've got the between dates, we've got the implementation of QA user, and implementation and QA user, sorry. So what we could potentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields is what we want to actually send through, and luckily we've got, actually we don't send the status. That's a read-only field. So we might actually, in the serializer, put that in. Change to our serializer. So that would be change task. Change to our status. All right, cool. Now, in theory, we should have ID equals read on serializer dot read only field, and then we go source equals change task status. like so. That should be done. We should also change this to a read-only field and get rid of that. And then in here, we actually put in change task status because we want the status ID. So everywhere else, what we've done is to distinguish between the text value and the ID, we've just appended the field with either ID or text. If I hit refresh over here, you'll see we've got change our status ID, change our status name, so that's perfect. And because they're read-only fields, I don't need to worry now about when we do the post to it. So with this, we'll need to have change task title, description, start, end date, required by is not needed. So we're gonna have to put in here. It's just easier sometimes just to copy and paste this in. And we're just gonna put as a read-only field. Easy done. And welcome, Poro said. Good. Welcome. I hope you are enjoying my content. And I like your little emoji. Aw, it's sad. How are you going? So we'll need is downtime. Oh, all right. We're going to change that, the change task required by, because we do edit this. So this will be character field, and this will be a simple required. It's going to be false, and then is downtime is also going to be character field required equals false. So if the user hasn't put it in here, we'll default. If they have, when they're creating, we will utilize that functionality. So yes. All right, cool. We've done those two. Downtime false. We've got request for change. That is not needed. So request for change down. Request for change equals serializers dot read only field. We don't need to do anything for that. That's perfectly fine. Change task and assigned users will need to port those through. We'll need to get it so it matches up. Easy done. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is it's just easier to sometimes just copy this. Equal serializers dot, I did this the other day. Was it choice field? Pretty sure it was choice field. And then we've got the, I did this the other day and I've absolutely and utterly forgotten how I've done this. I'm sorry, I'm just that tired. We are going to have a quick look at the Kanban card serializer and we're going to figure this one out. So usually we just, our primary key related field, that's why. Primary key related field, what we're doing is query set is going to equal the users.objects.all. Easy done. We do need to import that. And that will be from Django.auth Django dot. Ooh. Alright, I am struggling today. I do apologize. Wait. Import name. Contrib. There we go. So we've got that one, and then we've got the change task QA user, which is also the same sort of thing. The primary related field. So query set equals user.objects.all. We're all happy with that. So if we go back into this one and we hit refresh after a little while. Oh, request to change. Okay. I'm just going to do that. Okay, cool. So the request for change came one in. And Aiden, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. You're now free, aren't you? You're like, I'm done. Okay, there's Socks. She's lying down again. All right. So I've just got to do the request for change properly. Now it had a problem when it was a read-only field. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to go read-only. Like that. I don't know if that will work. Only one way to find out. Let's hit this. Alright, sweet. So, it did work, and then we've got the request for change. There. Alright, and then we got those there, and then we got all of that there, and then, alright, sweet. Everything's coming together. So, if I get rid of that, we've got all of that. We're all happy with that. And then if I do that, we've got that, and then we've got the change tasks, and then we've got all of that information in there. Alright, sweet. I'm happy with that. You're going well, just waiting for my grades to come back on the 28th and prepare to do resubmissions since I didn't fully submit everything. Okay, yeah, I should have uploaded everything even though it wasn't fully done. Fair enough. So yeah, otherwise looking good. Coming up Millhouse, I'm assuming. I really should get that that little soundbite and have that included in one of my alerts. Okay, so we've got this. We're happy with that. So we've now got, we've just got to do now the create. So I'm just going to move over on to Postman. I'm going to close all tabs. I am going to close that. I'm going to close that. We are going to add in a new folder, and it's going to be called Change Tasks. And in here, I am going to, instead of I'm just going to add in a new request. So in this sort of case, this is the get request. We're going to be happy if we just copy that and we go request for change. We're going to pick I'm going to say number 2, and then we're going to go change task. Now this is going to come up with a, ooh, I didn't check the permissions. This is not good. Unless I've already got my permissions in, which is, alright, cool. Everything is going well, even managed to get a better position where I volunteer. So now I'm doing tills instead of steaming. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, that's good news. All right, QA team to backup database. Yep, that's all good. So that one I'm happy with. I am just going to duplicate this, and we are going to do a post, and it's going to be called post. There is a format that I'm doing for this, so it'll be post change task team leader. What I'll do is I'll actually clean up all of these. And Sherry Carrot, how are you going? Welcome back. Hopefully you're going well. And then I'm hitting send and nothing's happening because I don't have a URL in there. All right, so we've got that, and then we hit send. We've got authentication credentials not provided, not a problem. We go over here to the headers. Oh, sorry about that, Sherry. Nightbot is a little crazy. All right. You're good? Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, don't worry about that. That's just Nightbot. It's been a little bit zealous. Yeah, so what's happened is it's just decided to go crazy. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm terribly sorry about that. I didn't mean for that to happen. Dashboard. I am logged in as Twitch. Give me a couple of seconds, sorry. But yeah, your messages are fine. It's just set a little too strict. So I'm just gonna log in, and then hopefully I can stop it being so strict. Ooh, that was the wrong account, I think. There we go. All right, Nightbot, where are you? Where's your chat moderation? All right. So yes, sorry about that. I'm going to turn off a few of these. Sherry, if you're still there, could you just respond back with a lot of emotes again, just to test this out? So yeah, sorry about that. That is, yeah, I've just turned off that feature. All right, authentication credentials were not provided. All right, easy done. We're just got to do that. Cool. So going down here, just click on this. All right, so if we go send, oh, don't say that worked. Oh no, this is still a get. Post. All right, I'm just gonna, yeah. Okay, that will be list. Oh no, that will be get change task team leader. Okay, I'm gonna close that. That's a post now. We should send. Boom, 500. That's perfectly fine. All right, cool. So, doesn't end in a slash. That's easy done. We just do that. We're going to hit enter. We've got 500 server error. Set up this. Sweet. So we're hitting everything that we need to. So I'm going to go back into here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go serializer equals change task serializer. And then we're going to add through the request.data. I have a feeling I have to also, oh yeah, I have to send through the context. Okay, cool. So data equals request dot data, context equals request. Okay, easy done. All right. So if not serializer dot is valid, we're gonna return response. I'm just gonna do this. There we go. Return a response. And then it'll be serializer dot errors status equals status dot http 400. Just gonna type in 400, get that done. All right, so we're happy with that. Now, I'm just having a think. Yeah, with the list functionality, that'd be done only with that. Yeah, all right, cool. And they won't have access. Yeah, all right, sweet. So, we've got that. I'm going to test this now. Sweet. So we've got these particular fields that we don't have at the moment, and we're going to actually fill that in right now. So that should be form data. Actually, yeah, I think it's form data. So I'm just going to open up the post for this one. So body form data. Yep. We don't have a date field in here, do we? No. So I'm also going to open up a project one. Post. Yep, perfect. All right. Cool. So in here, assign task user. We're just gonna have a 1. QA user. We're also gonna have a 2. Change task title. That should be change task title. Like that. We're just doing this very, very quickly. Start date and end date. And we're just going to do that. All right, we're going to hit send. Okay, cool. So passes everything. That's perfectly fine. So now I've just got to think when we actually create it. What are we creating? So, yeah. I don't know how long I'll survive tonight. I really want to get this out the door though. Okay, so not serializer is valid, all that kind of stuff. Okay, yep. Alright. Okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I'm going to have to actually do some reference work. So I'm going to jump into the change task view. I'm going to look at what we do with the change task. So when we hit the change task save, we go through with the form. So we've got the serialization. Oh yeah, we get out the ID. And then we key in the stuff we need. And then we hit save. And everything else is defaulted. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna deny that bot. Okay. We've got ads in 5 minutes. So, going with this, we're gonna plump that over there. We are gonna go back into here. We are going to go sweet. We forget what tab I'm on. There we go. I'm gonna minimize this so I can just see code and focus just in code. So we are potentially sending in through 2 more fields. The is downtime and there's another one. So it is downtime and change task required by. So these are 2 different, 2 default outcomes for this. So what we'll do is we'll have a look and be like, oh, okay, cool. Is this data in there? If it is, we'll use that. If it isn't, we'll just plop it in. So going over here, we want to do all that. So we're all happy with that. We are going to flat pack the variables. So the request for change ID is just going to be the quags request for change ID. Easy done. We'll be happy with that. This is a good time to actually deal with the default values. So I'm just going to is downtime and task required by. So change task required by. This is just, yep, simple stakeholders. I'm gonna just copy that. And then is downtime equals false. Easy done. So we've got our defaults in there. So if has attribute, or this is what I don't know. I don't know what the serializer will actually show. So I'm putting a breakpoint there. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to hit send. This should just work. We should hit that breakpoint. Easy done. We have. I'm going to have a look at the serializer. And I'm going to have a look at the data. And we don't have an attribute for what we need in there. All right, cool. So what I could potentially do, if has attribute, and then we've got the serializer.data, and we're looking for the is downtime field. So if it does have that, what we want to do is downtime equals serializer.data, validated data, and then we want is downtime. And we're going to do the same with the change task required by. So that will be change task required by equals serializer dot validated data, and then change task required by. All right, easy done. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit play, let that carry through. I'm going to do something like this. All right, and this is where we'll create the change task. It's done. And yeah, when we create it, we'll have to send back that data. So we'll do that in a minute. With this, if I hit, what I want to do is deleted equals, and I'm just going to do true. And I'm just going to put in a little thing right there. I'm just going to hit is downtime, not deleted. There we go. Okay, so it hits this. Serializer data should have is downtime, is true. All right, so in theory, ooh. All right. That didn't work how I wanted it. Okay. Huh. Okay. I don't know why that didn't work. Because I thought that would have. Damn it. Alright, we've just hit another ad break. Alright, just double checking that is ad break in progress. Alright, it is. I hope everyone's going well today. So, yeah. Alright, I am going to quickly solve this Rubik's Cube, but quickly as fast as my brain can actually do it at the moment, which ain't that fast. So, yes. Well, we've got the one side, now we've got to do the other sides. That's fairly easy to do. Okay. Alright, there we go. Ta-da! So, yeah. And Socks has come back. So there she is. She's got a twitchy tail. So, yeah. How are we with the ads? About 15 seconds. Okay, I really did that Rubik's Cube slow tonight. So, yeah. That is slow. Anyway, and Socks, say hi again. Just be like, you gonna say something? No? Okay, cool. Anyway, welcome back everyone. So, going back with this, I don't know why this ain't working, so I'm just gonna do a equals has attribute serializer.data is downtime. That is the same sort of thing, so I'm just gonna hit send. We've hit that thing, and yeah, that's definitely false. Alright. That's not what we want. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go Django REST framework, check serializer has value or not. If value exists. Alright, going down here to let email. Not what I wanted. Oh, how to check a condition, how to check value, getting none. Alright. Is it possible to check if the serialized did or... Alright, no. Validators. No. Alright. Django REST framework has... What is it called? Has attribute. Must be a string. How to check a model object has a given... Alright, oh, sorry. We might need get attribute, but if get attribute's not working, that is annoying. But it can be something I can do very quickly. So get attribute, easy done, and then what we can do is we're going to put false as default. We're going to go over here. We are going to hit send. And it's false. Oh, boo. But yeah, is downtime true? Okay, not a problem. We're going to back up. A equals serializer dot data dot hang on, my brain's like validated data is downtime. Don't know if it's there. Yeah, 500. Return dictionary has no... Okay. I've done something wrong here. Hang on. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to do that like that. We're going to hit send. We've hit this. We've got A, and A equals true. Okay. But what if now I'm going to hit play. I'm going to put in something in here that doesn't exist. That does not exist no matter what we do. We're going to hit send over here again. And then we've got an internal error. Yeah, all right, that's going to be a problem. Okay, not too much of a problem. I'm just going to put a breakpoint here. We're going to hit send. We've got this again. However, I've forgotten that we've also got a request.data. So if we open up the request.data, we should be able to see is downtime in there. So what I want to do is I want to go A equals has attribute request.data and then is downtime. I want to see what actually happens. So I'm going to hit play. We're going to go over here. We're going to hit refresh with this code. We've got this and it's false. Even though it's there. So we've got a query dictionary. All right. Python query dict has value. Okay. How to get the value inside a query dictionary? It's more than just that. Yeah, it's. Okay, has attribute. Or has key, right? Oh. In is more. All right. We can do this. So A equals, and we go is downtime in serialized.data. Okay, let's figure this one out. Let's go send, and then we click over here, and it's true this time. All right, and then we hit play. All right, cool. So I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to go if is downtime in serialized data, and then it does that. We're going to do the same thing down here. We still need to fetch the data. We can't just assume that will be always true. And yes, this is sucks. So yes, I should straighten up the camera. She does move around quite a bit, and we also got Max over there, who's stolen Sox's bed. She's not happy, but that's fine. She can sit here whilst we stream. And how are you going, WXWXIM? Yes, she's 10 years old. 11, sorry, 11 years old. So we've got that. I'm just going to do this. So if change task required by in serializer.data, then we can actually get the data out and we'll all be happy. Cool. Now we just need to create it. So from here, we've got the request for change ID. That's pretty easy to get. We could probably, if we're not using it that much, we can, yeah, all right. So what I want to do, change task. Now that's change task save. That's with an ID. Alright, update status, update description, get change task list, no. Change task save, simple post function, alright. Missing information. You're doing all right? Oh, that's good to hear. I am just tired tonight, so yeah, I do apologize if I seem a little bit down. I'm just exhausted. I've been up since 6 a.m. This morning, and it is headed to 8 p.m. right now. Yeah, I'm just tired, that's all. Been working all day. So, we've got the change task in here. We're going to have change task submit equals change task. Then in here, we're going to have all the particular fields that we need. So we'll need the request for change ID equals, I'm just going to go quargs, and then request for change ID, easy done, not a problem. We'll, it's not even 1 p.m. here, fair enough. So that would mean you are 7 hours behind me, meaning I would have got up at 11 p.m. the night before. So, yeah. Alright, so we've got the request for change, we've done that. We need... Okay. So we got the change tasks. Sorry, I'm just thinking in my head out loud. I'm just really, really tired that I forget where I am. So we've got that. This is just updating. Where the hell do I go to create a new one? How the hell do I create a new one? Let's change task. I'm just keying this in very, very quickly. We're going to go save and add another one. New change task. RC new change task. Oh, it's in a different location. Alright, not a problem. We're just going to do that. I wouldn't worry about that for much longer because we'll essentially be removing this old code when we go to 032. Which will be nice. Not going to lie. It'll be nice getting rid of all of this. Especially all the object data stuff. most of the object data stuff. A lot of it will move into the API. So, new form. So we've got the change task. We've got I am going to go back into here. This one. So we've got this. So we've got the request for change. Then we have the change task title equals the serializer dot validated data, and then we just got to go change task title. Easy done. And then we're going to have the change task start date equals serializers dot valid data, and then we've got change task start date. Easy done. Change task end date equals serializers dot validated data, and then the change task end date. From there, we've got the change task seconds. Ooh. You're doing a Rubik's Cube while thinking what you did. I don't know if I should be... don't worry about the Rubik's Cube. I've done them so many times that I don't really think about it whilst doing it. It's second nature now. So yeah, a lot of this, I just know what to move a little ahead of time. And thank you, Aiden. All right. We don't calculate the seconds, but we need to calculate the seconds. The reason being is that's data is used elsewhere. There are a number of things, so but it can be easily calculated. You just get the start date, you get the end date minus the start date. Not a problem. It will take a short amount of time to actually do this. So we're gonna have to put that in here. Change task seconds equals. I'm just gonna put that for the moment. I'm just going to continue on. Change task assigned user equals. Yeah, this will be the serializer dot validated data. Change task assigned user, and this will be the change task QA user equals serializer dot validated data. And change task QA user. And then the change task status is always going to be 1. You gotta dip and eat and do stuff to school today. Good luck on your script. I'll see you whenever I come. Anyway, thank you very much. WXWXIM, and good luck with school. So yes, and thank you very much for the follow. So yeah, greatly appreciated. Okay. And these 2 lines we can copy across. That's pretty easy. So, to get the start date and end date, what we're going to do up here is we're going to go start date equals serializer dot validated data, and then we've got the change task start date, and then we've got the end date equals serializer dot validated data, and then that's change task end date. Easy done. Now we're just going to jump over here. We're going to go source VM bin activate. We're going to go Python 3 manage shell. Easy done. We're going to press the Control L to clear all the screen, and we're just going to go import date. Import datetime. Sorry. And then the next thing we want to do, I'm going to go A equals datetime.datetime.now, and B equals datetime.datetime.now, and then I'm going to go B minus A. And we can't do that. So what we're doing is we're going to go Python get seconds between 2 date times. And then it is import datetime as DT. All right, cool. and then, ooh, all right. Unsupported ORAN types, built-in function methods. Okay, if I go A. All right, hold on. Yep, I've mucked this up. So A equals datetime.datetime.now, and B equals datetime.datetime.now. And if we go B minus A here, we get something like this. But if we go B minus A, and then it is the total seconds, we can get something like that. And that's what we want, but as an integer. So we would then need to go int all of this, and presto. So that's the formula. So that would be task seconds equals, and we're going to go end date minus start date dot total seconds, and we're just going to go at the start int like that. We're going to scroll down. We are purposely getting rid of this and this. You might wonder why we're doing that. It's because we've got the start date and end date already, and it's just easier to do something like that, like so. And that's how we're getting all the data that we require. Now the next thing we've got to do is change task to emit.save. I am going to change that. I'm going to do it like that. So we're kind of happy. We do need to actually update the RFC's start and end date based off the change task. So I'm going to do that. Now this should be easy to import. Like that. Now, the RFC ID will just be the request for change ID. That's pretty simple. The API is fine hitting this particular view over here. Yeah. So, now that that is done, we'll probably have to move that functionality somewhere else. It's not too much of a problem. Okay. So I'm just getting distracted with the cube. So we've done that. We now just need to get the data that we want serialized and all that kind of stuff. Now, originally we just get all the data and send it back to the user. That's going to change moving forward. We'll have to figure that one out, how we actually handle that. So what I want to do is I want to get the serializer, because we don't fill out all the fields and there's quite a lot of default fields and stuff like that. What we're actually got to do is we're going to go equals change task serializer. We're just going to go change task.objects.get, and we're going to get the change task ID equals the update. That's not update, sorry, the submit change task, or change task ID. Easy done. And then we just send back the data equals to the serializer.data. Easy done. And then this will be .http created, because we just created something. So we've done list We've done create, we've done read. We've just got update and delete. The update and delete shouldn't take too long to do. Oh, I haven't put those in yet. Oh, that's easy. We can put that down in right now. So, easy done. So, those are in like that. This is done. I'm happy with this. This gives the ability for the user to edit everything but 2 optional fields, which can easily default. That's perfectly fine. So, I'm going to do the destroy because that one's probably going to be the easiest one to do. I'm double checking how we've... Alright, yeah, it's something pretty easy to do. So in here, what we do is we just go change task equals self.getObject, and then change task is deleted equals true, and then change task dot change user equals request.user, and then change task dot save, and then we just return the response. Yeah, this one's pretty easy. Data equals I gotta spell response though. Change task deleted. Status equals status dot HTTP no content 400. Yeah, we're fine with that. Okay. So we've done that. We just need to do the update now. And then I'm just having a quick look at the time. Okay, it's 8:15. I don't think I will be able to last much longer. I do apologize, guys. Yeah, I've just been up since 6. I've got to go to sleep too. Alright, we're going to do the update. The update's going to be pretty much... It's absolutely going to be pretty much the same as the create. In fact, what I'm going to do is I am going to copy this and I am going to just paste it in, and we're going to go through it and modify what we don't need. So if we go into the code itself, I'm going to close this. I'm going to jump into this. When we've got a few more fields in here. Now the change task link, create new link. That's a self thing. The description is in here. So I've just realized that a lot of this is separate, and I'll need to actually, because of the API, I've got to bring it together and be like, all right, cool. I want to update these separately, but also add in the ability for it to, yeah, cool. I wish I had more brain power at the moment because I would come up with a solution. I just can't. at the moment. So, yeah. Okay. And then we got the MISC, which is the use downtime and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm going to add the ability for all of this to go through. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to think what we're going to do. Something that we don't have to worry about now. We have to worry about 0.32. So the idea is if I edit any of this, what's the process of updating it and so forth like that. It might be nice to actually get this particular thing, actually put it into here, and then have the ability to tab through. But even then, yeah. We've just reached another ad break. For those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch, so users don't get pre-rolled ads. We essentially do this so no one misses out on any content. You guys don't get ads, don't worry about that. So yeah, you get to see poor, tired me at the moment. Struggling. Yeah. Okay. And you also get to see Socks. She's like, hello. She's like to judge everyone who's watching. She just does that. So yeah, don't worry about that too much. Oh, I just mucked up my cube. Alright, how are we with the ads? About 30 seconds left. So hopefully everyone's going well tonight. I'm just realizing I've got to cycle in all the way tomorrow into work. I think I like the cycle. So that's not me complaining. I just gotta do it. I'm just hoping it's not raining. Alright, where are we with ads? That's the clock time. Alright, 2 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. And CSM 101. Yes. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm just tired. Just a long day. I woke up at 6. I'm feeling it now. And I'm just realizing that with this API, when we actually go to 0.32, we're going to have to change some of the UI elements within this. Not a problem. So, yeah. So yeah, that could definitely belong in here. I mean, I've got to think about this. Oh, that's a lot of carrying to do. So, yeah. No, I understand why your shoulder hurts. So, yep. How have you been anyway? Alright, let's get back into this. Now, did I put description in here? No, I didn't. Alright, so I've done something wrong. Hang on. Where's the serializer? I didn't change our status. Change it. So it is. It should be in there. That's Kanban. Change task description. All right. Yep. It's in there. So with this particular one, I'm actually going to scroll up with the create, and I'm going to key it in here. So, oh yeah, I hit escape, thank you very much. Change task description equals, and by default is going to be nothing. And then if change task description in serialize.data, we're just going to go change task description equals serializer.validated data. And that's going to be change task description. And down here, we're just going to go and move that across. And we're just going to go, oops. Change task description. Easy done. I'm just double checking where the camera is. Yeah, we'll just do a little bit of that. There it goes. Socks loves being in the limelight. We're also going to do the same thing down here. So we're going to enable that to be an optional field. So that's a change task description equals... Oh. Default better. Alright. Yes. All right, so going through this, what we're doing is we've got serializer, we've got all of this data, we're all happy with it. We actually need to get the item itself. So instead of just any item, what we need to do is we need to get the change task item. So that will be change task update will equal the change task dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false, and we're making sure that the request for change ID equals the quargs request for change ID, like so. And then if change task update is none, or change task update length, hold on, I've got to go length change task update equals 0, return response data equals cannot find change task, and then the status equals status dot 400 bad request. Easy done. And then down here, change task update equals the change task update, and we're just grabbing the first one. So we'll be happy with that. Then update the change task values. So change task update dot, and this is where we just go through all of this, essentially. I'm going to right hand click. I'm going to split right. We're going to pop this over here just for reference purposes. So we're definitely in the update. We've definitely done this. So this will be, we don't need the request for change to update, where the change task title will equal the serializer dot validate data, and that will be change task title. And then the change task update dot, and the next one is change task start date equals serializer dot validated data. I was hoping this will fill this out. We need to do the same thing that's done the start date and end date. So yeah, we'll need to do this. All right, that's going to be start date. Easy done. Change task update. Just get socks back into the camera. Change task end date equals end date. We need the change task update dot change task seconds equals the task seconds, and then change task QA assigned user. I'm just going to going to do that. It's so much quicker. We'll need change user, and is downtime and change task required will actually be down here. And then all I need to do is go change user, change task update. I've got to do it here. So change task update. All right. So we've got that. We'll also have the description. So So down here, it'll be if change task description in serializer.data, and then we'll have change task description, change task update dot change task description equals serializer dot validated data, and then that'll be change task description. Easy done. We can then get rid of that. We can get rid of that. We won't need that now. We will need the change task update. We'll need this. I'm just wondering, that will be PK. And yeah, we need PK equals 1. Change task ID equals the PK. Yep, sorry, we need that one. So that will be how do we do that one? We get the request for change, which will be part of the quags, and then that'll be the request for change. All right, I need to also do that up here with the create request for change ID. Yeah, perfect. All right, so now we've got that. Now the serializer is actually going to be a lot more simpler. And it is just going to be change task update. Easy done. And then it's not going to be, it's just going to be HTTP 200. Okay, because we haven't created it or anything like that, and we're happy with that. All right, so the change task has been put into there. So what I want to do is I want to go down here. I am going to duplicate this particular one. We're going to have it as a put. So we're going to put data into it. Now the good thing is this should just work if we just hit send, method put not allowed. That's because we need to do the change task number, which will be number 2. And I don't have any form data in here. I thought I duplicated this one. Come on, Postman. Oh my god. Actually, screw this. Don't save that. Get out of here. Okay, duplicate this properly, please. Socks. Keyboard. 2. Alright, it hasn't quite worked. Cannot assign user admin, change task, assigned user admin must be user instance. But that is a user instance. What are you trying to tell me? Yes, Max. Okay, let's get this one quickly fixed. So this is happening where we've got the change task assigned user. So up here, assigned user, it wants a user instance. Okay, that's really weird. I'm going to put breakpoint there. We're just going to go send. We've hit the breakpoint. I am going to open up the serializer. I'm going to open it up. We've got some data. Assigned user is a 1. I tell you what, sometimes just adding an ID onto here works charms. So we're just gonna wait for that to actually happen. We're gonna hit send. We've also hit that. I forgot to take out the breakpoint. We're gonna hit play, and we're gonna cry a little inside. Change user, change task. Change, yep. We should have also done that down here. Easy done. There we go. We're just going to hit refresh a couple of times. We're going to cry a little bit more. Field ID expected a number but got user admin. Oh, come off it. In fact, that should work. Thank you very much. Change task, change user. Must be a user instance. It is a user instance. Thank you very much. Okay, so, alright, no, not a problem. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna just comment out that line for the moment. I don't have any patience for it. What line? Sorry, sucks, your tail's in the way. No, don't do that. Come on. So I'm tired. So it's not working on that. Alright. Okay, field ID expected number but got that. Okay, so in this sort of case, I don't know what to do with these. I'm gonna have to do some research. I'm a little too tired to do that research right now because I just am. Let's just comment these out. I'm going to add in a to-do, fix this, issues with user instance. Worst case scenario, I get a couple of user instances. They're pretty easy to get, so don't worry about that. If I comment them out and get this to work, I can come back. Okay. So the true value is down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go value equals that if value dot to lower. Actually, I forgot how to do this in Python. Sorry, Python string to lower. It's just lower. And then value equals true. We're going to go and state change task update is downtime equals true. Else change task update is downtime. Hold on. I'm tired, but I'm not that tired. That's it. And it must be value dot lower. Let's have a look. Yeah, alright, cool. So yeah, that will spit out true and false, and boom, presto, we can have it done by that. If I go send, request for change, expected value, request for change. Now where you're hitting me. Okay, I'm gonna do that. There we go, done. Sweet. I know what broke with that one. That one's pretty easy to fix. I just forgot to put the ID in there. So, if we hit send, there we go. We've got a 200. We've got that all fixed. I now just need to do these instances. And an easy way to do it is just going up here. We're just going to go assigned user equals user dot objects dot get. And we're going to go pk equals serializer dot validated data and then change task. Assigned user. We do need to import that particular table. One for one from Django. Oh my god, I forgot where it was. Oh, I did this night. Contrib auth. Auth.models. Alright. So, we're going to do that. Going to see if that works. We're going to remove this particular one. And I am going to say assigned user, like so. We're going to undo it like that. We're going to test this. If this works, we're going to move forward with the other three ones. Expected ID, but got user admin. All right, I'm just going to do that. That should be an instance. All right, I don't know why it wasn't working down here when I added it straight in, but okay, that is beyond annoying for me. Let's just go change. Let's just go QA user equals serializer dot validated data, and then change task QA user. And then we're also wanting to do, let's just say change user equals serializer dot, that will be just request dot user. Okay, easy done. I am getting rid of these. And I am just going to put in, and I think I know what the problem was. I had commas at the end of everything. But that's fine. I'm here already. Okay. Yes. There we go. Done. I just had the commas at the end of it. I'm way too tired for this. So, yeah, I should clean this up. And then we are going to raid someone. There we go. All right. Easy done. All right, cool. Yeah, I just had the commas at the end. Something simple. When you're this tired, it's just silly things just absolutely knock you when you're down. All right, I am going to go over here. We're going to exit out our Python shell. We are going to go git status. We're like, all right, cool. Git add those particular things. Git commit, and we're going to say change tasks implemented for API. We'll need to run a bunch of tests and stuff like that. Today, we just want to get them in there in the code. We want people to have a look and tell me if there's any issues and so forth like that. I will need to write unit tests, but we also want to get out the door the requirement items. So that's our next one. That one should be as easy as this one. And yeah. And then from there, it's yeah, we'll start doing the finishing up the 031. Anyway, I am tired. Let's find someone to raid. I do apologize finishing this early. I am probably going to go with Togglebit. Oh, he has an ad running. All right, cool. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for coming tonight. It has been wonderful. We got a bit done, but yeah, I do apologize about the inability to stay awake. So yeah. Anyway, I do hope to see you guys next time. I'm just waiting for these ads to be finished. In 3, 2, 1, and yeah, let's go on and raid. And for those on YouTube, thank you very much for being here. Sadly, you won't be able to join us with the raid, but I do hope you like the content and subscribe. So yeah, thank you.